Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. The only place you can see a global perspective of every single video game. We're going to get a taste of everything. Some games a little longer taste depending on how complicated they are, but we're going to have a blast. Let's kick it off where we left off. It is November of 1980, and we last played Radar Scope, surprisingly good, even though I heard it didn't sell very well, and it was the reason that we got Donkey Kong and reprogrammed screens for Punch-Out. But it worked great. So let's move on to our next game. After Radar Scope, our next release. Oh wow, another gigantic release. This is Rally X in the arcades. The last episode we had hit after hit after hit of arcade games, and we might see the same this episode. So let's take a look at Rally X for the arcades. For artwork, here's our advertisement flyer. Looks like we got two different ones. The original, it looks like Midway's advertisement flyer, Rally X. Full color 1 or 2 strategic car chase video game with special radar attraction. That's right, the first video game with a radar. And there's the back of, I'm guessing the back of the advertisement flyer. A maze chase and race game all in one. A uniquely different kind of driving game that requires skillful strategy and quick reactions. Rally X is an exciting 1 or 2 player game with full color video playfield, a radar screen that reveals positions of cars, and checkpoints plus fuel gauge indicator. Yeah, this game is big, really big. This influenced so many games, and it also is a scrolling game. We're not taking place on one screen. It's November 1980, and this is blowing everybody away. With 4-way joystick, the player drives their blue car and tries to clear the 10 checkpoint flags that appear randomly in the maze of city streets. The player checks the radar screen, that's right, a radar screen, and plans their strategy to use as little fuel as possible. Increasing point values are scored for checkpoint flags. And you get a special flag. This is a great advertisement flyer. It's got to be the back of it, because most of the time advertisement flyers are not explaining the game so well as this one. This even has examples of the arcade cabinets there. You can see we have wide, cabaret, and upright. And then they even have the scoring down the bottom. The blue car is the one you drive from checkpoint to checkpoint, and then the red cars are the ones that can wreck you. You can use a smoke screen to when cars are chasing you, and then it shows the checkpoints that you get. It's got to be the back of the advertisement flyer, not the front. So there's the example of the arcade cabinet for Rally X and PCB. There is our control panel. All we have is the joystick and then the smoke screen button. And that's it. It's very simple controls. And there's our arcade marquee. Awesome artwork. There's a really angry guy behind the wheel of Rally X. And there's some examples of screenshots for us. All right, so we have a manual for the arcade. This is the Midway's parts and operating manual. And if you look at the top, it says January 81. That is the manual date, not actually the date it was released. So for table of contents, do we have anything about the game? The advertisement flyer already had a lot. Setup, troubleshooting, switch adjustments, playing instructions. Let's see if that one has anything for us. Playing instructions. Does it help us play? There we go. 1 or 2 people can play. Move the control lever. My car, which is blue, is moved up, down, left, and right. Avoid barriers and use smoke screens on pursuing red cars. Thanks for coming. Good night. With help of the radar screen, touch the checkpoints, clear, and continue on. And there's all the checkpoint values you get for points. When an accident occurs by hitting a barrier or red car, you start over from the first 100 points. When the special checkpoint is clear, the points accumulated at that time are doubled. The screen shows ×2. And of course, when an accident occurs, the score is wiped out. The fuel for my car starts out with a full tank, 60 liters. All checkpoints are cleared. An additional 100 points is awarded for each 1 liter of fuel remaining. And then we have a challenge stage with rounds 3, 7, 11, and 15 are challenging, where 8 red cards appear, but you cannot run until the fuel in my car is used up. So this again is, I think, the second or third example. Not many examples of a challenging stage or bonus round that we've seen in a video game. And there is the example of an upright cabinet, and that is good. We got it all. We usually don't get that much information from the manual. So for other versions, we got a 32K version and the Midway version. We're going to play the original that was released in Japan first. So this is by Namco. In Japan, Rally X. Midway was the one that distributed in North America and possibly other regions. But here we go. This is our first boot up of Rally X for the arcade. by Namco. And Namco, if you saw last episode, they already released Pac-Man. Puckman was released earlier in the year, and Namco is killing the arcades right now. Atari is still up there, and Namco is now throwing hit after hit out there. It is amazing. All right, so the view we have is giving us what you see around the screen and also the instructions at the bottom, which are kind of hard to see. Let's see if we have different views that we can change to. Do they have other options for us? Looks like we got the cocktail version. Oh, that's cool. So the cocktail has artwork on either side. If you're not familiar with cocktail cabinets, they flip the screen when one or two player take turns, because these games at the time were still alternating play. As soon as one person finished their driving and they crashed, then the next person would take over. And since you're sitting on either side of the table of the cocktail, it would flip the whole thing over so the other person could see. And then let's see, we got the, oh, nice wider view. This one just has the screen itself with some artwork on the outside. I love that. Is that two different? Oh, two different pictures. It's the same driver, but they're making a different face. And then a 4-3-1, and then just some extra artwork. There's a better view of the instructions at the bottom. So what you can see right by the control panel when you're about to play, really helpful for arcade games. Nolan Bushnell famously coined that if you need to have instructions for the arcade game, it's not a good arcade game. Because if you can't pick up and play it, then it's not very good. But I enjoy the instructions at the bottom. All right, so we're going to go with this nice widescreen artwork there, and let's put a coin in and see what happens. A little sound effect there. Push the start button. Bonus car is 20,000 points. So we push start. Oh man, the ditties get better and better the longer we played. And that one actually sounds clear, very crisp too. And notice that we have non-stop music or sounds while we're playing the game. So the way this game works, first of all, you have full control of the car, and it's not relative control. So whenever I move up, the car moves up. Whenever I move left, the car moves left. It is using the top-down maze view that we've seen in Pac-Man and Head-On and so forth. But what Rally X does that no one else does is we're scrolling through screens. We're not playing on the same fixed screen. It's scrolling, moving around, and we're able to see, we know that there's something else beyond the screen because on the right side there's a radar showing us that there's yellow flags that we can pick up, and when we pick up all the yellow flags, then we complete the round. And at the same time, there's also cars coming after us, and they're displayed on the side as the red dots. So this game, I would say, is one of the most influential games we played so far, besides Pac-Man. This and Pac-Man are up there, and I'm having a hard time ranking the games because we've got so many good ones. So many good ones in a row. Because even shooters are changing little things that make them really fun to play. And they're going to be influencing other games on other consoles and other ports. So this is Rally X, and the play mode also feels so good. Notice how I can... oh, they captured me in that one. Notice how whenever I want to make a quick switch, I can. There isn't a reverse or a gear shift. It's the play control is perfect. For instructions, dodge red cars and rocks, clear 10 flags before fuel runs out. And our fuel gauge is right up here at the top, right above the radar. And it shows over here on this side of my shoulder what round that we're on. So we made it to round 2 that time. We're going again. This is the attract mode. It also shows the smoke screen, which I forgot about the smoke screen. Speaking of which, if you were tuning into the episode where we played Lupin 3 in the arcade, I never pushed the magic button in that video. So I got to remember that whenever we start these trial runs of arcade games and testing them out, that I need to push all the buttons. I'm surprised I didn't do that. All right, so here we go. Let's push another quarter in and push and start. The Rally X Ditty doesn't get as much credit as it should, because it's good. Where's my... Oh. Still great play control, even with the crash. So there you go. There's my smoke screen. Where is my level of smoke screen? Do I use fuel? I do. So the smoke screen you can use as much as you want, but it makes your fuel go down. Oh, nice. The red cars can hit the obstacles too. Awesome. I want to know also if the maze that starts off for each round, is it the same every time? Because this is a really large map. On the right side, you see how large the radar is. So... Oh, I love this. I love how it's constant sound. Music happened in the background that you can hear. We've had arcade games that either didn't emulate the sound or they had quiet at times. but this one, it gets you in the mood to play it. So I was able to quickly switch, go back up the other side. Love the play control for it. So that's another game over, but we're going again. This is excellent. I'd say between this and Pac-Man, the best games we played so far on the channel. All right, so putting a quarter in and pushing start. Both this and Pac-Man, Namco has the idea of keeping this music going and sound effects going. Because both this and Pac-Man have constant sound that's playing on the screen. Okay, so I got one chasing me. I'm going to ward him off. There we go. We're going to use the smoke screen like we're supposed to. And we can also see the red cars on the radar. So while you're focused on looking for the red dots to get all the flags, you also want to see where the red cars are. And the element that I really enjoy is it's not giving you the full map on the radar. Just the blip, and you got to use that blip to help you get around the track. All right, so I got him coming after me now. Trying to close in. Let's see if I can outsmart him with another smoke screen. And we'll go out wide. I can't tell yet if it's the same map every single time. Maybe if I game over enough, then I'll be able to know. Oh, fuel's going. So if fuel's going, got to get the last one. Yes, and we got it. So before fuel runs out, make it to the next round. You go to the, round by round. All right, so let's see if it's a completely different map or if they randomize it. I know they randomize the flags and the location of where the cars start. Oh, but see the play control, just a quick switch. I want to move the car a different direction. We played lots of other driving games on the channel, and the driving games, especially the ones that go for simulation, are a little more particular of how they control. Oh, I can't believe I got through that. That was luck. I really want to get to the challenging stage, because now we're starting to see arcade games that have multiple game modes, and we've seen that with examples like Moon Cresta. Oh, I'm running out of fuel. I've used too many smoke screens. Oh no! I don't think I can make it to the last one. But we've seen other games like Moon Cresta. Oh, it got me. That, oh, this will give me full fuel back, right? Okay, yeah, there we go. That, they have a different mode of play instead of just the same thing over and over and over again. And we're going to see elements of that change as it goes. Oh, it's inside the center one. Well, I got enough fuel to be able to get that one. We can do it. We can do it. Are they they're guarding it? I don't believe it. They were on the last flag. Oh yeah, love the comments. Yes, the S flag. We're gonna see if you've played Smash Brothers. I'm a huge fan of Smash Brothers because it's basically the history of video games in a video game. And yeah, love the comment, Casey Club Kirby, that you're gonna see so many elements in video games that you weren't aware were in something else on this show, because we're gonna play them all. Oh my gosh, speed has ramped up. Okay, so this is round 3. After this one, if we can complete it with the special flag, then we'll also get the challenging stage. Oh, and see, I can see where the red cars are. It looks like they're camping out in one spot at the top of the screen. Or maybe they're not giving you the location, but they're not moving right now. I'm going for it. I didn't change the speed myself. It's like Pac-Man. It's speeding up already. What is happening with the cars? The cars aren't going anywhere. They're just staying in one spot. We got 3 at the top and then 4 at the bottom. Oh, it's because I'm in the challenging stage. That's right. That's why. It's letting me... There we go. Okay, so it stopped. Now the cars are going. Oh, man, and the cars are so fast. Okay, so challenging stage is done. Now I'm into round 4. And looks like, yeah, we have a different maze this time. One thing the game is not doing is it's not doing what we've seen on the home computer space, which is like roguelike games where it's building new levels every time you play. It's the same thing every time. Something to consider, too, when we played Pac-Man last episode, Pac-Man was the same map or same maze every time. Miss Pac-Man is the one that actually changes the mazes up, but no, Pac-Man was the exact same maze every time you played. All right, so top-down maze game, but does something so much better and bigger. This one is fantastic. Let's go one more time. It's Rally X. Pushing start button again. This is our last quarter. How far can we get? And without using up all our fuel. Okay, there it is. There's the special flag. And from what I can tell, yes, the first round is the same maze. At least it looks the same to me. But they are adding different obstacles. The rocks are in different places, and the flags are in different places. So that one's randomized, but the maze itself is the same one. So if you were to play this over and over and over again in the arcade, you could get a hang of where everything is. There you go. So I'm getting a hang of the first maze because I've played it so many times. And we killed it. Lots of fuel, too. No smoke screen that time. All right, so round 2, no difference in speed, but typical to arcade games at the time, every level is just going to get progressively more and more difficult. There is no ending. It is, you continue to play, and it's essentially you just go forever because they're wanting you to continue to put quarters in. I saw them on the radar, and I can't believe it. No way. I want to try to get down to that one. There it is. All right, here we go. Can we get it? There, got it. Running short on lives, though, and I'm already using a lot of smoke screens. I don't know if I can make it or not. So the sound effects, though, are amazing. You got a sound effect of the car. You have a sound effect. Well, you have the ditty that's going on in the background, and then you have all the sound effects for the other cars picking up flags. It just keeps you engaged. You want to play more and more. All right, so that is Rally X, and for the time, I'm going all 5 stars. Not only is this one of this is the best game you could play in 1981. It's extremely influential. And it's doing a top-down maze formula like Pac-Man. I'd say it's pushing hardware even further because of the fact that it's scrolling the screen. We know that there's other elements outside the screen itself. All right, so 5 stars for Rally X. Incredible. Let's move on to our next game. After Rally X, we have, oh yes, Space Panic for the arcade. It is amazing game after amazing game. Okay, so this one has a huge history behind it. Let's take a look at the artwork for Space Panic. Cosmic Series, Space Panic. This is by Universal. Shoot down the assaulting space monsters into the black hole. So you see both kinds of cabinets displayed here. And this is very big because Universal took the idea that we saw with Hyonkyo Alien, where you're digging a hole, but made it from a side view. And that side view is what's going to influence platformers. People have said this is one of the first platformers or platform games. And we've actually seen 2 other examples on the channel of the 2D view where characters can move left and right. But this one allows ladders for climbing and so forth. So here's an example of the arcade cabinet for Space Panic. Man, excellent artwork. It is a Space Panic. Look at the guy on the side. Love this. Okay, this one is so big. And when I start to play, you'll see how many games have copied this formula. So here's the control panel. This is holding and closing. And if you saw the video on Hyonkyo Alien, the way the game worked was a top-down view, but you had aliens running around the screen, and you had to dig a hole. When you had the hole or trap already dug, the alien would go into the trap, and then you had to close the trap up to kill the alien. And so this one has, I think, a 4-way joystick, but it's only 2 buttons, opening a hole and closing a hole. Yeah, so that's our controls, alternating play for the arcade. There's the arcade marquee for Space Panic. Universal. This is the biggest release by Universal so far. And there's the example of the screenshot. Looks very familiar to another game. People have said this is one of the things that influenced Donkey Kong, Shigeru Miyamoto. However, where this was released, I can't confirm that. But if you look at the view, this is using ladders, side view, and multiple levels. First time we've seen that. All right, so here is the manual for Space Panic. Operator service manual with, again, the artwork. Man, they're really hitting home on making those aliens really creepy. Be scared. Thank you for your purchase of Space Panic. Carrying a CPU, Space Panic game machine is the newest type with many features and functions. Do we have yes, we do. Features of the machine, how to handle, how to play is what we want to know. We're not building an arcade machine here. We want to play the machine. There we go. How to play. You make the man dig holes. When a space monster has fallen through a hole to a lower floor, if you cover it over before the monster creeps out of it, you are awarded points. A monster, boss, or Don does not die unless they drop more than 1, 2, or 3 floors, respectively. Additionally, when there's more than 2 space monsters drop into the hole, or when a boss, that's the first time we've heard the word boss. We've seen bosses from shooter games, but no one's ever referred to a boss as a boss. At least in any manuals we've seen so far. When a boss or Don is dropped into a monster below, they die together. The larger the number of floors a monster drops, the higher the score awarded. The man can move quickly down to a lower floor through the hole he has dug, and he can lure the monsters down through the hole to the lower floor. When the man has been bitten by a monster or when all the oxygen has been used up, the man dies. When the oxygen display becomes 0, the man's face reddens and the warning buzzer activates. If oxygen has not been reduced to 0 when the screen's been cleared, you're awarded bonus points corresponding to the amount of remaining oxygen. Oxygen, they're really making you being scared of being in space. The highest score registered his name on the screen. Yes, we can put our names in. And there's the score. There's the boss. Yes, they call it the boss. And the Don. So there's how points are awarded. And the way this works is your character's moving left and right on a 2D plane. You dig a hole and you can drop them down. And if they drop all the way down, it shows how many floors they drop. You get more points. And it looks like you can hit enemies together. And there you go. That's all the gameplay. Yes, we're getting more manuals telling us how to play the game. Love it. All right, so for different versions, we have the German version, a harder version. We're going to be playing the original, the first version by Universal. It is November 1980. We're playing Space Panic in the arcade by Universal. So here we go. This is the beginning of the game with all the artwork around the CRT television. And it's showing you how to play the game. As each alien falls, you're going to get points based on how many floors they fall through. And if they fall on top of an alien or not. So for the attract mode, you can see how it's played. There is someone moving left and right on a plane. They can move up ladders. And whenever they decide to dig a hole, they dig the hole on the side. And if an alien falls through the hole, that's how you would kill the alien and get points. So it's not a unique idea because we've seen one other game do this. But they're doing it on a 2D plane rather than a top-down view. So you see what's happened. The alien fell in the hole, but they didn't fall all the way through because you have to close the hole up, and that's what makes them drop and gets the points. And you turn ghost white when you get eaten by an alien. All right, so let's put a quarter in and see what it's like. And push and start. And we have oxygen at the bottom. Looks like we don't have sound for the game, though. So after playing all the Namco releases, it feels very bizarre. Oh, I couldn't get a hole dug in time. It feels really bizarre playing a game that's quiet after we heard so much sound effects for the games from before. So notice how he goes in, and I got to fill the hole up, and then he drops down. So when you're playing the game, you can dig as many holes as you want, and you can also fall through the hole to the next level. But if you fall through the hole, you obviously aren't going to get the points for it. And as soon as the alien if they come out of the hole, oh, he's going to get me. Oh, I got it. Okay, great. If he comes out of the hole, then the hole is just filled up and you don't get to use it. But got to get him in and then refill the hole. And you just have to finish the level in time. That's what they're using for oxygen. So we got some sound. It looks like it's very difficult to emulate this one. And there should be other sound effects that are playing while we're going. But we did get the ending ditty, which is nice. And yeah, it's using a 4-way joystick. And I can tell because of it's not as smooth as the Pac-Man controls that we had from Namco. So same one as before, going to fill it up and then get the points for the fall. And so if you work to dig several floors deep and then have the alien fall through several floors, then you get more points for it. So let's see if we can do... Oh, see, no, he got behind me, and then I'm dead and white as a ghost. The biggest influencer of this game is Lode Runner. Lode Runner took this concept and took Japan by storm. Originally developed by Broderbund. It was taken on by that company. Oh, here we go. I got one of them. He didn't fall through several floors. But whenever they released it in Japan... Japan loved the concept of Lode Runner, and it was copied and cloned many, many times. So here we go. Am I going to get it? Oh, he's coming. But yeah, this is very fun to play. Oh, no. See, if you didn't finish the hole, then he climbs out and he gets you. That is Space Panic. Let's see if we have some other artwork for the sides. besides just one. Oh, it looks like there was a bootleg version, and there's the bootleg artwork for Space Panic. But we'll go with the original artwork on the side. Let's put another quarter in and see what happens. Push and start. Gonna get some more aliens. One thing I enjoy about games like this is the creativity to create something new. The idea of how do you destroy your enemies or kill your enemies. Now, most games, the easy option is, well, you shoot them. And that's why we have such popularity with shooters. And so with games that take the idea of how are we going to kill somebody, I want to dig a hole, have them fall in the hole, and then fill the hole up, and that's what kills them. That's genius. That's true, yes. Pave the way. So there's no way to tell if this is an influence or not, because I've heard of many stories that people were developing the same kind of game at the same time, but never knew what the other person was doing. So here we go. I can definitely see where the influence is, but as far as how this, you notice I can't jump too. So the reason why some people say this is a platformer and some people say it is not a platformer is there's no jump. So I have a hole here. I cannot jump over it. When I walk over it, I just fall over the top. Oh, he got out of it. I wasn't fast enough. So you see him, he's crawling out. But if you don't fill up the hole before he crawls out, then you won't get the points. Oh, see, I wasn't fast enough to dig the hole, so then he crawled out and he got me. So it's a somewhat level of strategy to have to think about your plan of what you're going to do before you do it. And you also have to watch where the aliens are going to see if they're going to fall for yours or not. So you see here, this one fell in, but I wasn't prepared, and I can't get him. I can't fill the hole up to get the points for him to drop through. But I got this one. There we go. What? He didn't die. Oh, so I got to have multiple levels for that guy? Because he is the boss. Let's try him again. Let's see what happens. Yes, he will not go down. I got to do more levels for that. Wow. You have to be able to drop multiple floors to take him out. So if you're just tuning in, this is Space Panic by Universal, and this is one of the games that has influenced the platform genre. In my opinion, not necessarily a platformer, because we've seen two other games on the channel that take this view, the side view. You have a character that looks like a human being moving from left to right, and oh, yeah, there we go. Can we get it? Got that one. And we'll go for this one. And so you can also use the traps to escape, like you just saw me do there. And you can slow them down. They'll fall in the hole and slow down while you can get away. All right, let's try another one here. And yeah, we can get this guy. Nice. There we go. So I like the idea of making holes, yeah, to slow them down, but you cannot traverse past the holes. Oh, see, there you go. See, I didn't finish digging the hole, but he did fall through this one. Let's see if we can get him. And because it's not multiple floors, wow, he didn't die. So a very challenging game. You have to plan where you're going to put the holes and how you're going to get them the first time. Yeah, and them getting stronger if they survive the fall, and it reminds me of Mario Brothers. The concept of an enemy after if you didn't kill them, then they come back stronger than they did before. That would be the first time on the channel we've seen that concept. But no, we've seen some shooters that technically, when you didn't shoot them as they flew off, they came back stronger. So I couldn't call it the first, since we've seen a few shooters do that. All right, so let's try it one more time. Put one more coin in, push and start. Want to see if we can get past to the Dawn and see the Dawn enemy. But we're going to have to really work to get multiple levels for the aliens to fall through. Can we do? And we cannot dig at ladders. You can only dig in open places. Every level we've seen also is drawing a different plan for us to play. Oh, see, didn't finish digging. It takes him a while to get out. Let's see if he follows after me. And he does not. But this one might take the bait. There we go. And just like Hyankyo Alien, all the enemies are random. They're moving randomly. They're not following my direction or doing, to my knowledge, no artificial intelligence like Pac-Man, where they have a certain moveset. It really sounds like the Diddy is struggling. After hearing all the amazing stuff from Namco, Space Panic sounds like, ugh, I really don't want to play music right now. It's having a hard time. All right, so gonna fall through there. Nope. Yep, see? They got me again. So tricky. And the time limit, too, with the oxygen makes you panic. You're rushing to get it to get something for it to work. All right, let's see if we can get one to fall in there. So you notice that the aliens are moving random, so I don't know if they're going to come on my level or not. If they do, there we go. Got to be ready to close them up. Otherwise, they'll climb out and get stronger. Let's see if we can get another one. I fell off the side because I thought I could escape from him, but he went down the ladder. All right, so that is Space Panic. Very, very excellent game. Now, the way that it plays is not as amazing as Rally X or Pac-Man, so I'm not going to go for a 5-star rating for Space Panic. I may not even go for 4.5, because we've seen the concept that Hyonkyo Alien started from the side view. It's still very, very good, though. And not incorporating in the sound emulation or what we heard, because we can hear on the video in the background that it does have the sound effects there. So, but I'm still going to go for 4 stars, a very excellent game for the time. So, Space Panic, 4 stars, considering everything else we've seen up to this point in video games. I say, after Space Panic, let's move on to our next game. Wow, we're still in the arcades. So, our next game is Spectar. Spectar. Spectar? Whatever wherever you pronounce it. Let's check out the artwork for Spectar. Spectar, the challenge awaits you. Spectar, where the profits begin. Exidy. We haven't seen Exidy for a while. Another person that, or another company that's been around for quite some time in the arcade scene. And I'm not sure what the game is. There's 2 examples of the upright and cabaret cabinets on the arcade flyer. There's the example of the arcade cabinet. A terrible picture of the arcade cabinet. And then for our controls, looks like we got a 4-way joystick and 1 button for fire. Yep, so up, down, left, and right, and fire. There's our arcade marquee for Spectar. 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 It sounds more like it'd be Spectar since it's the arcades. And then for screenshots, I don't know what this game is. We got a top-down view, possibly dot collecting is my guess. We have a manual. Let's see if Exidy tells us anything. The Spectar Technical Manual by Exidy. Hopefully one of the developers will see this video on YouTube and then correct my pronunciation of Spectar. Yeah, there you go. 1980 Exidy. Let's see. Manual design for ease of... Oh, great. Reading schematics. No, I want to know how to play the game. What's the game about? So you can see here, this is how to set up all the different PCBs for game logic and then schematics. Does it have anything about what the game is and what the game is played? No, it looks like this is only the schematic for how to set up the arcade system. So no help there. Anything for different? Okay, we just got different revisions for different versions. So we're just gonna step up to the arcade and see how it plays. It is November 1980, and this is Spectar in the arcade by Exidy. Oh, we got the artwork. Awesome. So very tiny in the bottom here is game instructions, or it's just showing score. In the city, Spectars, the heroic Hummel confused the... in the city of Spectars, the heroic Wummel continues the crusade against evil and injustice. That's what the story is for Spectar. And it looks like it's telling us about score, what we're going to get for bonus points and so forth. And for attract mode, looks like it's a tank game. So you can see we're going to be controlling a green car, and the green car drives around. Single screen, and enemies are red. But I'm guessing the point is to collect the dots. That's my guess. Let's see if we have other artwork for Spectar. Spectar. Anything else? Nope. Same one we just got. All right, let's put a quarter in and see what happens. Nice. That'd be the first Diddy by Exidy. Whoa, the car goes fast. Yeah, it is a dot collecting game, single screen, and I have another green car. That destroyed me. I ran into it. But cool beginning. It's showing you how many lives you have left by a little car moving around the screen. So it's a 4-way joystick, so it takes a little bit to get used to if you're used to 8-way joysticks. But I'm just guessing after you collect all the dots, you move to the next round. And what's the level doing? It appears to be circles with barriers. And, oh, I see. There's one other green car. Oh, and I have an attack. That's right. I can shoot. There's one other green car that's changing the landscape of the maze. let's see, high score, 1 player, 2 coins, deposit coin. Okay, let's put another coin in and push start. 3 lives per player, as is a standard for the time, what we've seen. So, do I have anything that's keeping me from shoot? I do not. I can just shoot away. So, as far as speed, the way it works is when you first move a direction, you hit the direction again, and you go fast. And your car speeds up. So, I am able to shoot the other vehicles around. Oh, that makes it much better. And you can slow the vehicle down just by moving the opposite direction. Let's see if I can get the other green cars. They seem to be, okay, they seem to be a little bit smarter than the red ones. But the green, yeah, the green ones are like me. They can have the same speed up, speed down. And the controls are not relative, similar to, oh, the green ones can shoot too. Oh, great. Similar to Rally X, the controls are not relative. I move up, I go up, I move down, I move down. Everything is very easy to control, simple to get. Let's get it. There we go. Yeah, collect all the dots. 1,000 extra points. Bonus. I'm trying to get as many as I can because eventually, yeah, the green car shows up and then now we're in trouble. It looks like the red cars don't shoot me, but I'm saying cars loosely. They might be gremlins for all I know. There's just a few pixels, so they could be anything else. I just look like I'm driving a car, and then the other one looks more like a tractor. Usually we don't use our imagination as much in the arcades. That's more for the home console space or home computer space. All right, let's see if we can get the rest. Oh, man, yeah. You see how fast the green ones are going? Oh, man, yeah. Crazy. And the barriers that they've drawn, I can drive into, which, of course, make me crash. All right, let's get the rest. Cleared them away. Nice, 2,000 extra points. I can see how this would be forgettable because we've seen other dot collecting games and top-down maze games, but thanks to Pac-Man, we're going to see a lot more. Everyone's going to be copying that formula. Oh, nice. Looks like I can shoot the car's missile with my missile and it cancels it out. End of game. All right, one more shot. Let's put a quarter in and play some more Spectar by Exidy. And we're getting very simple sound effects, but I'm only saying that because we just played Pac-Man and Rally X. So, no fault to Exidy. I'm sure this still sold really well. Am I getting any points for the red ones? I don't think I am. Ah. That four-way joystick still has a learning curve to it. Yeah, no points for the red ones. Only the green ones give you the points. Okay, yeah, no, it works. I'm getting points. It just doesn't show you on the screen. They were displaying it when we blew up the green one. Gotcha. Alright, so the speed up slow mechanic, I understand what they were going for, but it's not executed as well compared to other games we've seen, because the top-down, I would call it a tank game, because we're shooting something with our vehicle. It plays better on the other tank games we played because it maintains the same speed, and then you just have to understand when to corner and when to shoot. And so since you have two different speeds that your vehicle can go, it kind of changes the dynamic a little bit. I could see how you could get in a groove, though, and just understand exactly when to turn and shoot and avoid all the other cars. But the tricky part is when the other green ones start speeding up, too. Then it would be crazy. All right, cool. So lots of fun for that one. I'm going to go ahead and not give that one around 5 or 4. For Spectar, we're thinking, I'd just say slightly above average, because considering we haven't seen the biggest boom from Pac-Man yet, it still plays very well, considering, and the concept is good. So we're going to do 3.5 stars for Spectar, or Spectar. All right, so after Spectar, let's move on to our next game. Released next, oh yes, 1980 had Battlezone. Battlezone is so amazing. And this game I cannot do justice because this is the best arcade experience you could have at the time. We've seen other space shooters where you're in a cockpit or moving a handle that you hold and you're actually flying around, but no, Battlezone has them all beat as far as the arcade experience. Oh, this is excellent. Okay, so let's take a look at the artwork for Battlezone. So we got two different advertisement flyers. Looks like this one is turn your combat zone into a profit zone. Oh yeah, made for whoever owns the arcade. And then for advertisement flyer, Super Tanks compete in outer space exclusive Quadra-Scan monitor. Yes, Atari with their Quadra-Scan monitor. Special visual effects, spectacular explosions, realistic 3D playfield view, unique radar display warns of enemy approach. So if my memory's correct, the only other vector-based game by Atari we played was Asteroids. And this is their second vector-based video game. Not the first. We saw other vector-based video games by Vector... I can't remember the name of the company now. Not Cinematron, but they did lots of vector-based games before Atari did it. And you can see here, the advertisement flyer shows two different arcade cabinets. Very interesting to point out, the one on the left, the cabaret mode, just has the two joysticks that you're going to control the tank, and it doesn't have the full periscope. On the right side here, this arcade cabinet is the one that I've played. If you've ever been to arcades that have the classic arcade games, or the Video Game Museum in North Texas. So there's the example of the full arcade game, and this is why this was the experience. You are putting your eyes through the periscope, the viewpoint, and I'm not going to call it virtual reality because it wasn't. You didn't have free movement, but you looked through the periscope, and the several layers that the Atari is letting you see through make the game look three-dimensional. And the vector-based graphics really pop. The glow effect is awesome. So I'm sure they didn't have any cloth to clean off the front screen, but you would totally want it because after you put your face against this thing, I'm sure it was sweaty as all get out. All right, so after that, we got the PCB, and as far as controls, we have to pretend we're controlling it like a tank. These are the same controls as Atari's older tank games, Tank 4, Tank 8, and so forth. And there's the arcade marquee, Battlezone. Man, it doesn't get better than this. This is so cool. All right, so that is all we got for artwork. Let's take a look at the manual for Battlezone. The Open Face Conversion Kit. So this is not exactly the manual. If you're not familiar with conversion kits, arcade cabinets are very expensive. And so if anyone owned an arcade business and was using cabinets, they wanted to switch out games, you would want to get a conversion kit where you take the exact same either upright cabinet and you switch out a few things so you can convert the arcade cabinet into another completely different game, but still playing off a lot of the parts without having to buy everything all over again. So I don't know if this was going to explain the game. It may just be talking about how to convert it. Let's see. So yeah, showing you how to assemble, take everything apart and convert the game. Yeah, convert into a different one. But does it say anything about instructions? It does not. So this manual is just the conversion kit manual. So if you want to know how to convert your arcade cabinet into a Battlezone, there you go. All right, so for different versions, we have bootleg of Mayday, the cocktail version, and then two different revisions. We're going to play the first one. This is November 1980, and we're playing Battlezone in the arcade by Atari. Oh, there we go. So we got a lot of the artwork around the outside. Kind of what you'd see as you're putting your head through, but we cannot recreate that. You have to play this yourself to really get the 3D feel of what Battlezone's like. Okay, so as you see attract mode, we also notice we have a radar at the very top, and we have a score at the top right, and then the top left, I think, is displaying a first person, another view, like behind you, because they're trying to make it feel like you're inside the tank. And this game makes me want to bring up the topic of the first-person shooter, because some people have claimed this is one of the first, if not the first-person shooter. Now, on this channel, we kind of understand and see the first-person shooter as if you're a person rather than inside a vehicle. So Battle Tank, we're not really going to consider it as a first-person shooter. It does take place in a first-person view, but they're trying to make you feel like you're inside the tank. You're moving it like a tank, and you have to control it a certain way, and they have all these panels around you. So the first-person shooter has to be a game that it takes all that away, where you're not just in the first-person view, you're actually on the ground and you have a gun and you're shooting things. So I'm not going to really consider this one a first-person shooter. It is taking place from the first person, but I wouldn't call it the first first first-person shooter. All right, so 2 coins to play. We don't have that kind of money. They must be more expensive. It's got to be, right? Because the game's so amazing. All right, let's take a look at the other view we can have on this one. We got the cabaret. So the cabaret view we saw before, you didn't look through the periscope on this one. If you had the cabaret, it was just the 2 joysticks to control the tank. And then we got the, oh, nice widescreen view. Love that. That's awesome. And then just Atari Classics. Oh, with instructions at the bottom. So it's showing us the points for the different tanks. Oh, and then the dreaded, I don't know the name of it, but the one that drops down and then just beelines right at you. Freaking scary. So strategy, use the radar. Keep moving, don't stay in place or you will get hit. Oh, that's a good strategy. Use the cubes and pyramids as shields and listen for enemies' tank shots. And you lose a tank each time you're hit. Yes, we kind of get that one. Oh, cool. Even more artwork. And there you go. There's the example of the 2 joysticks you would hold when you're playing. And you have to pretend each joystick's controlling one side of the tread of the tank. And there we go. Oh, they even have controls. Let me switch this out. Check this out. Over on this side, they have the controls to show you how to move the joystick and control the tank. So if you want to move forward, you move both treads forward. If you want to move the tank left, you move one tread to the left. And if you want to turn, then you have to actually twist the joysticks like this. Very difficult to explain, but whenever you have the controls in your hand, you realize, oh, I'm moving both treads to move forward, or I'm moving both treads to reverse, and then you realize if you want to turn, you have to twist the opposite direction for the joysticks. All right, so from the chat, Casey Club Kirby was saying, yeah, some people would say if it's a first-person shooter is if it's anything from a first-person perspective and you're shooting something. So yes, I understand how people could see that, but as far as a first-person shooter like we would see today, I wouldn't consider this a first-person shooter because even though it takes place in the first person, you're in a tank. You have to be a person, like actually running around and then you're shooting a shot. But that's up for debate on what you would consider because there's other games we could say are first-person shooters before Battlezone even. All right, so, man, I'm loving this artwork. This looks great. And then we just have the color overlay over the top of the green. So I want to go with the widescreen view right here. There we go. We get the most playfield and the best view of the radar at the top. All right, so here we go. 2 coins, a whole 50 cents to play this. Putting our quarters in and pushing start. All right, so here we go. Oh, we already got a tank in our sights. So the way I'm going to be controlling this is I'm having to emulate using 2... Oh, he's moving too fast on me. I'm having to use it as 2 joysticks. Nice, there we go. All right, I'm gonna see if I can get a hold of him. Now, the way this is gonna work, it's tricky because your tank is moving slow, and you really want to use the obstacles to help you out. Oh, see, he's already got an eye on me. Did I get it? Oh no, I bumped it. See, I bumped into something else, and now I think he's gonna. He got me from backing up. Here we go, get it. No, I missed the shot. And just like the other shooters, he got me back. Just like the other shooters we've seen, I can only fire 1 shot at a time. Oh, and now we got the UFO that showed up. Extra bonus points, but very difficult to hit. If I can get it. I don't know if you can see, the tank is behind the cube and is having to shoot me on the other side of this. Go! Yeah, there we go. Cool. This game was so impressive at the time that the military actually asked Atari to program a version of this that the military would use for training. Oh, I don't have a view on him yet. He's too close to me. Go for the turn. Go! Yeah! There we go. Awesome. Alright, let's see if we can get the UFO. Okay, we froze the UFO. Oh, we did get him. Okay, sweet. Got it. I love how they even programmed a moon in the background. It's awesome. Alright, let's see if I can get a view on him. And yes. No, it missed! And we get even a little ditty for the death. That's awesome. Alright, so to get us to scroll through, it looks like we only use 1 joystick to scroll each letter. And put our high score in. Man, so classic. So glad we hit up on this one. This will be the one we'll end for tonight because Battlezone it is amazing. At this point is the most amazing game we've played so far. From 1980, if you played this in the arcades, it'd almost be like virtual reality, or people would call it that at the time. And it also depends on how you play or where you play this, because to play on the actual arcade cabinet with the 2 joysticks, it actually is intuitive and works really well to control it if you've ever played it in the arcade. But there's other versions that they try to emulate this for ports on other consoles and computers. And a lot of times the ports don't translate well. So it depends on where you play or how you play. But yeah, it is a very difficult game. It is not a pick up and play because Atari was trying to simulate being in a tank and tank warfare. So when this came out, they wanted it to be difficult to play. All right, let's see if we can get this guy. Oh, I thought he was going to walk into that. Come on. Got to lead the target. There we go. Nice. And so now, as soon as he dies, you want to watch your radar, wait for the next guy, and then go for the next spot. So one of the strategies is you want to move, continue to move, and then when you see another tank, then quickly make an action to get him. There we go. And I've seen a few other strategies, but honestly, see like that, as soon as the tank if the tank shows up right in front of you and is aimed locked on you, then you're kind of, there's nothing much you can do. I'm gonna go in a circle and see if see he still got me. There we go. Nice. The graphics on the explosion reminds me of another vector-based game we played called Warlords. Or Warrior, that's right, not Warlords. Warrior, whenever you destroyed your enemy, they like exploded into pieces. So cool. All right, let's put another 50 cents in. We're blowing all of our lunch money on Battlezone. I don't know what we're gonna have for lunch today, but we got to. It's Battlezone. If the arcade had this in 1980, this is the first one I'd go for. Oh no! Get behind it. Let's see if I can get around. All right, so here we go. That's it. All right, let's see if he takes the bait. So he's shooting the cube on the other side. I'd love to know how they programmed the artificial intelligence for this one. There we go. Oh, he dodged it. Not today, buddy. The best way is waiting for them to turn, because every one of the tanks takes a moment. There we go. I got lucky. He's on the other side of a cube. But oh, he's not on the I thought he was on the behind the cube. But every one of these tanks takes a second to turn around, and that's whenever you want to pop them on that turn. See right there, he made a quick movement and got me. Let's see if okay, nope. Going for another one. There he is. All right, so waiting for the next one. Look, checking the radar, and then we got another guy. Looks like there. Go, go, go. No way, I can't believe it missed. Get him. Oh, right before he made the shot. Oh my gosh. And the intensity of that radar sound is great. Like, makes you realize, I'm about to die. Got me. Dang it. And then right there, see the respawn? I don't know how they programmed the respawn, but sometimes the respawn is so unlucky on how where you're gonna pop up. Now, I want to get to the point where when you play far enough, it's not just tanks that attack you. You start to get attacked by aliens that drop down from the sky, and they make a beeline for you. So the difficulty ramps right up. Oh, I can't believe you dodged that. Now he's just toying with me. Nope, not gonna do it. Nope. I'm gonna go behind this one and see if we can make a turn. Nope, nope, go around. Make a turn. Just twist. Oh, he made it. Okay, so he got around the side before I did. Let's see if we can do it on this one. Come on. You're mine. Sweet. All right, going for another one. It looks like he's straight ahead. This is also the very first video game we've ever played that's giving us range of motion on like a surface of a planet. So if you notice that I'm able to, it feels like I'm driving around on a surface and I have a three-dimensional area to use. This is the first game we've ever had that's allowing this much freedom to move around. Oh, does the UFO not show? Oh, he didn't shoot! Yes, I got him. The UFO is not showing up on my radar. That's scary. No. Oh, yeah. Quick on the draw right there. All right, so I got to get him before he turns around. Yes. Nice. Good. There we go. Okay, now we're getting in the groove. Depending on how it works. Yes. Getting some luck. And in the top right above the score, it's showing how many tanks I got left. Nice. That is true. The respawn rate can be a little unfair, so I can understand. But think about it. This is the first time you could play a game that you drop down into space and you're able to move freely around a 3D space. We have not played any other game that can emulate that. And on that note, video games at the time, we've already seen games from the 70s that take place from a first-person perspective, like certain driving games. And it's almost like the video game industry at this point already knows what they want to achieve. They're already wanting to achieve this 3D effect, this realism, this immersion, but they don't have the technology to do that yet. So they're going to do whatever means they can with the limitations they can to produce something that gets you close to feeling that. This is one of the games that gets you close to feeling that. That's why Battlezone is so big, because this is a fully 3D space that makes you feel that immersion of I can now move where I can move left and right. I can go wherever I want to go in this 3D world. Granted, it's just a bunch of lines and polygons, but look, we got a volcano in the background. It makes you feel like you want to be in that space or be in this place. And this is the first time that anyone could experience that for 1980, or at least commercially. They had some other things, obviously, that you could check out in colleges or mainframe computers. But this is the first time that anyone could see this all over the world after the arcade cabinet was distributed. All right, so this was Battlezone, and because of what it's able to achieve, and from what we've seen so far, Battlezone is 5 stars. Definitely. For everything it's influenced and what it accomplished, because at this point most people can't think a video game could do this, and we're going to see other video games try this thing to make a fully 3D world. And if you think about the video games of where we are now, it's taken a long time for us to get more and more realism pushing in and immersion pushing in. And this is one of the first games to do that. So 5 stars for Battlezone. That is awesome. All right, so for tonight, that's where we're going to leave us on our quest, playing every single video game in order of release. I really appreciate everyone that is tuning in, either YouTube or Twitch. We will continue playing every single game next time. Have a great evening. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we miss any games along the way. This video would not be possible without RetroArch and Launchbox. Please tell your friends there's some crazy guy out there trying to play every single video game. You can always check out Chronologically Gaming on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We will catch you next time.